about 1995-96. We came together, we formed a new mission statement, I think our very first mission statement, as well as came up with some designs and so forth that eventually led to the logo that we have for so long. I'm going to go through this quickly since we only have just a few minutes. The purpose of our team is basically to improve communication between our church, its members, and the community at large. Our target audience basically on the inside, of course, would be our congregation, and on the outside would be our Louisville community. People reach annually. We're a little different than ministries and mission groups here in the church. But volunteers, right now our team consists of these members: Todd Deaton, Kevin DeWitt, Mandy Horde, Mike Payne, Lee Yates, and myself. John Shapanis is our staff liaison. We also had another member, Jeremy Reese, that we lost to Twitter in California, and he was already very instrumental in trying to get us together as we were first beginning our local development 2 summers ago. The budget funding breakdowns are as follows. You can read for yourself. John supplied those to me. He provided those to me just a few months back. I thought at the same point of the questions that we were supposed to answer tonight during our presentation, let me just at least kind of share who we are as a group and what our tasks have been in the nearly 3 years that we've been together. When we first came together, our team was asked to read and reference 3 books. I have those there. Probably my favorite of all was Unique: Telling Your Story in the Age of Brands and Social Media, and it's by Phil Cook. I followed this gentleman on Twitter. It had really some profound, very realistic statements and information for the church in this world now in the 21st century, and us dealing with reaching the lost for Christ, and particularly a younger generation that knows nothing else but social media. As a baby boomer myself, we've seen quite a few changes through the years, but if we're going to reach the lost, we need to think in terms of the younger generation and what will attract them the most. There were 2 other books. Social Media also was another good one as well. We also had several consultations. Scott Vaughn Communications. I'm an acquaintance of Scott Vaughn. He used to be the marketing director for the South Carolina Baptist Convention. He went out on his own. He doesn't think inside the box. He's always been an outside the box thinker, and so he basically did an audit of our communications here at the church, probably even before we even began as a group, as a task team, and we just reviewed some of what he called a prescription for communication ailments. I also enlisted the help of 2 of my co-workers at the time to do a branding, marketing, and social media consultation. We also employed Faith Lab out of Macon, Georgia, and they're a ministry that helps congregations and other nonprofits tell their stories using media tools of this generation. Tyler Deeb is who was recommended to us by Jeremy Reese, and he was instrumental in getting our new logo. Unless you've been living under a rock for about the last year, you have noticed our new logo on everything from business cards to the dove to our church bulletin and so forth. So we had a new logo created. We now have a new website, and hopefully you have visited that on more than one occasion, and that was created by a designer by the name of Christiana Hobbs. She's the media specialist at Westport Road Baptist Church. We also have an increased social media presence, and that also includes with our own staff. We even have our pastor who is on Twitter now, and he's doing a pretty good job. So we have a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram presence. And I think all of our ministry staff is currently at least on Twitter. Not everybody's on Facebook, but most of you are. So any questions? I will say that we are not done as far as our tasks that we have yet to accomplish, and we're going to be looking at print mediums and also electronic newsletter. And so that is still in the future, as well as a style guide.
Denise, what do you need from what does the communications team need from the church? Governance structure, financial, promotion. What is it that your team, if you had a magic wand, you would like to have?
Well, for anything, and I mean, I work in nonprofit, and so I'm used to, there's never enough money. There's never enough money, and also been a member of this church long enough. Is this, it's real reality of what you dealt with many times with your budget. But I would love to have our budget increase some so we could really, anything from marketing to even more on our website. You know, like I said, we're looking at the Dove and how the Dove is going to be used in the future, as well as electronic form of a newsletter that will go out. We have an old generation like my parents that look forward to every week that the Dove comes through the Western Recorder. And then there's the younger generation that is going to be coming in different forms. So it's just looking at different ways besides social media, beside the website, of how we can get, basically connect communication among our members and the community at large. Yes.
One of the questions on our form is, over the past 3 years, is this a growing ministry, particularly the part involving more SMBC volunteers and involving them more deeply? How would you address that?
Well, we have a small team, and we have tried to enlist members of various areas of expertise. We have Todd Deaton, of course, who's the current editor of the Western Recorder and has many years of experience in the print media. We have several others who, Lee Yates will have IT experience, as well as Mike Payne. We have Mandy Horde, represents basically the younger generation, and she has been more of our social media person on board. She has been an advisor to Greg and maybe to others on staff about their Twitter accounts especially. So we have tried to enlist members as suggestions from our ministry staff as well as others that will bring in areas of expertise that will help toward our overall communications plan.
I have a question.
Sure.
Denise, let me ask you this. Percentage of our congregation, how many are like, would you term like not into all the social media type, you know, like, okay, I'm not a big techie person, okay? I mean, I'm a baby boomer. I didn't grow up with it. I kind of got it later in life, and I'm not so into it, but that's just me. And I know I'm a dinosaur, and so I'm just wondering, like, when I look around, I see a lot of elderly that we have here. How are we communicating with them if it seems like all we're going to do is the, you know, the computer
Well, that's where the
type
importance
stuff.
of the print medium, print mediums will come into play with the Dove as well as the electronic newsletter.
Okay, but then I know also too, as they age, that we're losing them, but you know.
Right, but I think in attracting the younger generation, I mean, I'm just in a conversation today, well, I guess it was yesterday. We were talking about you know, something that you see in a magazine or a newspaper, and you want to show this to especially your grown child. I have a nearly 24-year-old, and it's just like, I may even circle it, whatever, and he just flips it. I mean, if I Steve Miller and I, we were just talking about this in Sunday school and elsewhere yesterday, that if you would highlight that and you would send it to them electronically or, you know, whatever, they would read that over at the printed medium. So, you know, you do have big drifts in interest in the way of that, how you communicate with all that. And we are an aging congregation, and I realize that.
I have a 4-year-old granddaughter that does iPad like you wouldn't believe. And it's my iPad, and I've never been on it. Okay? You know, yeah.
Would it be true that you think that there are probably more people on Facebook over 50 than under 30 at this point?
Yes, I think overall, I think baby boomers and older, and then maybe some just, I'm kind of in the last third of the baby boomers, of the generation right behind me, still on Facebook, but there's still quite a few that I would say more of Graham's age, like my son, who are on Facebook, but a lot of times when they are on Facebook, they're connecting that with what they've just posted on Twitter, Instagram in particular. So
okay.
Facebook kind of has got, you know, they escaped Facebook when some of us in the last decade have gotten on Facebook. They've gone to other sources, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth.
Do we have an Instagram presence?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Here are the three: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay. Those are our three social media sources that at least we have. You can also find that's on our website as well.
who is I know some of us are, and the administrative staff are queued in as administrators for the Facebook page. Where does the Twitter and the Instagram stuff come from?
I would guess maybe, I mean, I don't know basically who all's done that, but just from conversations some time ago with John, I'm thinking at least website and maybe Instagram could perhaps be coming from Emily. But as far as the Twitter side of it, I don't know if there's any, I mean, there's probably one of our Twitter sites, we may have several general St. Matthew's Twitter sites. I know there's just one that I've seen the most anymore within the last year. But then for your staff ones, you know, you all will administratively do that on your own.
There have been several things that we posted to the Facebook, general church Facebook page that I've asked around to see if we could tweet it out, but nobody knew who actually controlled the Twitter page to do that.
Because I would say above anybody, as far as the ministry assistant staff, it would be probably Emily that would understand it more.
So I have a question, thought thing. Would it seem appropriate to have a little class for the older generation and understand that a little?
Well, you know, I am aware that some churches do offer that. Also, local libraries will offer that as well, and continuing education classes through the Jefferson County Public Schools will offer that. I've even encouraged, my mom probably Christmas 7 years ago finally asked for a laptop. And she'll get on Twitter. She doesn't have a Twitter account. She's just turned 84 2 weeks ago. But you know, she will do email, and she struggles with some of that. She's never taken a class, but I have encouraged her to do that because I think that would help her tremendously. I'm a hands-on learner, so for me to go through something like that and actually have some hands-on experience, I do a lot better that way.